Hey, welcome to Living in Lansing, Michigan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything in between regarding life in Lansing and the greater Mid-Michigan area. Today, we're going to talk about the wealthiest communities in the Mid-Michigan area. And before we're done, I'm going to tip you off to which one may be the best bang for your buck if you're considering a move here. Where will you get the most value? And what makes these communities such a draw so that you can make the best decision if you're making a move to Mid-Michigan. Before I forget, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications below so that you can stay up to date with everything that we have to share regarding living in Lansing in the greater Mid-Michigan area. So again, let's dive in. Let's talk about those 5 top most wealthy communities in the Mid-Michigan area. Probably coming in at number 5 is East Lansing. Why might East Lansing be ranked lower than some of the others? All right, so before we dive in and we talk about the wealthiest communities here in Mid-Michigan, a quick disclaimer. We're pulling our data from the U.S. Census Bureau and from niche.com so that we're providing relevant, accurate data and not our opinions on what the wealthiest communities are. Now, a couple of other disclaimers. Some of this data is a couple of years old, so things may have changed in the last 1 to 2 years, but the 2 primary things we're looking at when we're talking about the wealthiest communities is median household income, and second, what's the average sales price of a home in that area. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what the wealthiest communities are here in the Mid-Michigan area, and then don't forget at the end of this video, we'll come back and we'll talk about where the best value may be for you if you're making a move here. All right, let's jump in. I think coming in at number 5, we've got to give a nod to East Lansing. East Lansing is the home of Michigan State University, and for that reason, our data can be a little bit skewed here. We're talking 40 to 50,000 students, and most of your undergrads, while they have a job, they're not making a lot of money. So that really kind of throws the data a little bit crazy for the city of East Lansing, quite simply because we have so many students that are being averaged in for that median household number. And then the second thing is we have a lot of condos here in East Lansing. There's a lot of housing stock that's not a detached single-family home, and the average price of a condo is significantly less than a single-family home. So that also skews our data on the front of what's the average sales price of a residential property here. So for those 2 reasons, I think the data skewed a little bit. Otherwise, East Lansing would probably rank higher. We're going to bring East Lansing in at number 5. What does East Lansing offer? Quickly, Michigan State University. Great jobs. We have professors, we have faculty and staff positions both. We have sports teams playing in the Big Ten. There's a lot going on at the university that draws both people here to work, get an education, and also attractions like nightlife, sporting events, shows at the Wharton Center, other things of that nature. Okay, so a little bit more information about East Lansing. The average sales price over the last 12 months was just over $300,000. Again, that number is skewed dramatically because of the high amount of condos that the city of East Lansing and the area around the university has. The second data point that's not going to line up when we talk about wealthiest communities, the median income in East Lansing is listed as only about $44,000. That's going to again be skewed drastically by the fact that East Lansing is full of students who either work part-time or some of them don't work at all. So take that into account when we look at East Lansing as one of the wealthiest places here in Mid-Michigan. All right, coming in at number 4 on our list of the most wealthy communities here in the Mid-Michigan area, we've got Haslett. Haslett is located just east of East Lansing, and we have a lot of people living in Haslett that probably still work at the university. They also may be working at the Capitol or in healthcare or at some of our other large local employers like Jackson National, Delta Dental. Haslett also has top-ranked schools in the area, and oftentimes where we see highly ranked schools, we'll see high medium household incomes and also higher average sales prices on real estate. Haslett's a community that also gets to boast our one big lake in town. So Haslett is home to Lake Lansing, and Lake Lansing offers both on-lake, lake frontage living and lake access living close by. So Haslett, coming in at number 4, is seeing an average sales price over the last 12 months for residential units of just under $400,000 and a median household income of around $72,000. That's 2022 data. That puts us just a little bit shy of the national average. So at number 4, Haslett, Michigan. Okay, coming in at number 3 in our list of the most wealthy areas in Mid-Michigan. We're going to head north into Clinton County and we'll find ourselves in DeWitt. DeWitt is located just north of Lansing and it's south of St. John's, St. John's being the Clinton County seat. DeWitt formerly was a small rural farming community, really, But over the last 20 or 25 years, as land became scarce in and around the university and the capital, developers moved north, bought up large tracts of farmland, and developed large neighborhoods. DeWitt is a community that has benefited drastically from the expansion of the greater Lansing area as it pushed outside of its traditional borders. DeWitt now has highly ranked schools, an average sales price on their homes of over $400,000, and a median household income of right around $84,000 for the data that we're looking at from 2022. DeWitt is a community with a lot of commuters. There's not a lot of industry right in DeWitt itself, but because of the easy access with the freeways to get to Michigan State, to get to the capital, to get to Jackson National, some of these other large employers in the area, DeWitt has become a favorite spot for people that are looking to buy a home, settle down, possibly raise a family, and send their kids to the public schools there. So again, coming in at number 3 on the list of the wealthiest communities, DeWitt, located at the southern end of Clinton County. Okay, so coming in at number 2 on our list of the wealthiest communities here in the mid-Michigan area, we're going to head on over to Okemos. Back again in Ingham County, Okemos borders Michigan State University on the southeast side of the campus. It's also neighbors to East Lansing, Haslett, Mason, and Williamston. And roughly the I-96 freeway is the southern border to Okemos. So because of that, it gives easy access for people that need to commute east towards Brighton, Ann Arbor, Detroit, or west towards Grand Rapids. It's also easy to connect down 127 to Jackson or head north on the 127 freeway and find yourself in Mount Pleasant where Central Michigan University is. So back to Okemos. What draws people to Okemos? Probably first and foremost, it's got the highest ranked schools in the whole of mid-Michigan. Routinely ranked in the top 10 in the state of Michigan, sometimes in the top 5. Okemos School District is well known for its academic programs and its athletics. That's probably the biggest draw. However, Okemos also sports Jackson National Life. That's one of the biggest employers in the area. And we also have Delta Dental, one of the largest dental insurance companies in the country, that have large campuses right in Okemos. So not only do we see a large influx of people that work at Michigan State University or the Capital or at the health systems, McLaren and Sparrow, we have some large employers right in Okemos that draw people here. The other thing is this, Okemos is routinely ranked number 1 best spot to live in all of Michigan. That's right, even right now, niche.com has Okemos ranked as the top suburb to live in all of Michigan. So with real estate prices comparable to DeWitt, right now the average sales price in the last 12 months has been right around $400,000 for a single family home. And with high median income, about $88,000 per household, Okemos ranks in at number 2. Surprisingly though, you may wonder what is the number 1 most wealthy community in all of mid-Michigan. So let's talk about it. Okay, so here we are, the number 1 wealthiest community here in mid-Michigan. Right now, according to our data, it's Williamston. Williamston is a smaller community located about a 25-minute drive east of the capital and just off the I-96 corridor, so it does have good access for people that maybe have a dual income household with people driving east to Ann Arbor or maybe Metro Detroit or west to the capital, to Michigan State, or even as far as Grand Rapids. I believe because of its location, easy access to the freeway, we probably have a lot of dual income households that are choosing Williamston as a middle ground to live in as 2 income earners are heading opposite directions. Williamston is also known for its highly ranked schools, and it's right on the Red Cedar River. But the other thing that may be unique to Williamston or causing some of the home values to be higher on average is that Williamston has a lot of rural areas with people that are living on 10, 15, 20 acres, hunting properties or hobby farms with large houses that match that. And of our 5 wealthiest communities, right now over the last 12 months, Williamston has the highest average sales price for homes at just under $410,000. The surprising thing is the median household income in Williamston is significantly higher than the other 4 communities, coming in at almost $116,000. And for that reason, we've got Williamston as the number 1 wealthiest community here in mid-Michigan. So like I said at the beginning, I'd come back and tell you where's the best bang for your buck. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we're here at the end, and I said if you stuck around, I'd tell you where the best potential value is here in the mid-Michigan area. So we've gone through our top 5 most wealthy communities, and we have East Lansing, Haslett, DeWitt, Okemos, and Williamston, with all roughly the same housing prices, but also vastly different median household incomes. Here's the big value add though. It's knowing where the property taxes may be lower. So places that we have really high property taxes in mid-Michigan, Meridian Township. Meridian Township is where most of Haslett and Okemos schools fall, and some of East Lansing schools. The city of East Lansing has high property taxes. The city of Williamston has high property taxes. And DeWitt City has high property taxes. So what's the trick? The trick is to get out of those cities or out of Meridian Township if you'd like lower property taxes. So we can stay in those school districts and we can live in Williamston Township. And in Williamston Township, we have lower property taxes. And we can also find ourselves in DeWitt Township, still with DeWitt schools, with lower property taxes. But more than anything else, there's a little pocket of Williamston Township that has Okemos schools with a little bit lower taxes. But Okemos, the highest ranked schools in all of mid-Michigan, covers a little bit of Alladin Township. And Alladin Township is just south of the I-96 freeway, and there's a pocket there where you find yourself in Okemos schools. So these may be the best value that you'll be able to find, because you'll get the school districts that you want, but we'll get significantly lower property taxes getting into some of these smaller townships or out of the cities. So for those reasons, you may consider any of these areas, but probably you want to look at Williamston Township, Alladin Township, or DeWitt Township, and then pick your school district based on that. So thanks for joining us, talking about the wealthiest communities here in mid-Michigan. Remember, subscribe, like our videos, turn on the notifications, and leave your comments below. We look forward to sharing with everyone what's great about mid-Michigan, and look out for some of our next videos where we might talk about what's not so awesome in mid-Michigan.